And social innovation are new ideas of new way of organizing something that emerge more from the people than from some workshop or some scientific arena, and that meet some goals and they work. And there are a lot of, we start to have a lot of attention on social innovation. I use a quotation from the Young Foundation that maybe many of you know, that is a very good place to go and to understand what is social innovation and what are the potentialities of social innovation. And what they say, that I find a very interesting starting point, that it's more than probable that we are witnessing a new wave of social innovation. And we have social innovation, they say, when there are two things that are happening. One is that the system is stressed by some problems, and the other one is when some technology entered in society and then being in some way digested, even if not yet totally exploited. So when you have these two effects, these two elements, it's more than probable that you will have some social innovation. I mean, the people to face the problem will use these capabilities and this technology to do something and to invent something new. And I really think that we have never faced a phase with so many big problems as today. And I said to myself, I don't want to start from sustainability, but of course, everybody is talking about this now, and it's there. The problem is so clear, and it's so clear in general terms, it's so clear in the daily life of hundreds of millions of people that are living in, moving from the villages to the city, or living in the cities that are in hospital, etc., etc. So the problems are big. And a incredible quantity of technology entered and spread into the society. So everybody has not me because today I forgot it at home, but everybody has a mobile phone, and the mobile phone is an incredibly powerful tool. And so people that change the way of living, that has these new tools, probably will find out new way to organize, new way to solve the problem, new way to socialize. And this is what is happening. And this is available at every scale, and it's available also at the daily life scale. So what I want to say, this is the message, so afterward I will be more relaxed, and even when the gentleman there will say that I have to finish, it will not be so important if I'm not really finished. No, because I'm not very good in planning my presentation, so I prefer to say the story at the beginning so everybody's relaxed, somebody can sleep, and I can finish when it's time to finish. So I think that this is very important. We have a lot of problems. I will not talk about the problems, but I will talk about the possibility that into the society, a rich, complex society, new ideas will emerge. And we have to be able to see these new ideas. And this should be seen also by the top, because these new ideas, we usually say, come from the bottom, but to come from the bottom, something has to happen on the top also. So the top has to recognize, has to create favorable conditions to let this diffuse creativity to emerge. And they can help the process, or they can kill the process. So the attention and the way in which the government, the institutions look to the phenomenon of social innovation is very important. And I will say also the money that is put in this way. If you compare how much money is put on the technological innovation, and it's of course a lot. In Europe, we are spending billions on the nanotechnologies, just to tell one. And if you look how much money is put on observing and helping the social innovation, it's quasi nothing. You cannot find it. You have to see some sub point of another chapter to find it out. So it will be very important to recognize that there are incredible potentialities in our society. That unfortunately, it's not said that this all energy will go in the right direction, but there are a lot of energies in the society pushed by the problem, empowered by technology that potentially could be the solution, the enabling technology for a lot of new and old problems, and the process has to be helped. And this is true at every level, and it's particularly true, or at least is the part that I look more attentively at the daily life level, what normal people do, how normal people can organize different way of solving problems of everyday life. And in some research that I will present, we have called it the creative communities, this group of people that invent a way to live in a different way. And we have observed that when you're at the stage of the creative community, it's a little bit as a kind of prototype. We talk a lot about prototypes. And he said, and I totally agree, we need new way of creating prototypes. These creative communities create prototypes. They are prototypes. They are not yet something that can spread as they are, but they are prototypes. They show that something can be done in a certain way. And so if we look to this prototype, it's not only an idea, it's more than an idea. It's an idea that at least once in the planet works. So they are prototypes. And these creative communities can evolve in different organizational forms. One of them, maybe the most interesting of them, are what we will call, and I will try to explain what does it mean, collaborative services. And finally, of course, because we are designer, at least I am designer, I think that all you are designer, we think that design can play a very important role. In what? This is very complicated, because if we talk about creativity or we talk about human relationship, luckily the human relation cannot be designed. So we cannot really design the object that I will talk about. So I will talk about something that cannot, and in my view, we have even not to try to design, because people has to be free to do things, to interact. It's not because a designer say you have to be friend with the other one. But we can do a lot of things to create, in our languages, platform that could be more favorable, that make more probable that this kind of creative and afterward intense relationships will happen. And this will be the most propositive part of my stories, what we can do as designer to look to this system, to look this phenomena, to try to understand what they are, to try to understand what are the weaknesses, to try to understand where are the strengths, and what we can design to create platform, in our language, enabling system or enabling solution that could permit to more people to do the same, not the same, or the same, to take some good ideas, to replicate it, and to make them more stable in time, more lasting in time, more easy to be replicated, more effective by different point of view. So this is the story. There is social innovation is important. Social innovation tells us that something is happening that can be seen as a new generation of services. The characteristic of the new generation of services is that people co-create in a constellation of partners, co-create the final result. This is very interesting for several reasons that I will try to explain. And we can not only to observe and say, oh, how fantastic it is, but we can try to do something to promote or to easy to enhance this kind of phenomena. My references are some research that we did. The first one was done for the European Community, and the second one has been done for the United Nations Environmental Programme. Everything starts from something that we call signal or seeds. I mean, I'm not talking about trends. We are before the trends. Maybe some of them can become a trend, but the trend means something that a kind of machine that starts to work and you can foresee what will happen because there is a kind of inertia. The seeds are something that have a DNA, has some potentiality in it. You cannot know if the seed will be cultivated, it will find the water and the ground enough to grow and become a good tree, or maybe it will die. So what I will present, it's not, oh, Mr. Manzini, you are saying that the future will be like this. I'm saying this is something that exists and could be cultivated. It's up to us to do what is possible to do to cultivate it.